Welcome to the video, guys. You might remember at the end of February we had the diehard Ramona, Dame Emma Thompson, promoting the fact that her and her husband had actually moved to Venice because of course, Brexit. Being such a diehard Ramona, she just couldn't take it that the people of this country wanted something different to what she did. So she got a bit bitter about it, slagged off the United Kingdom, the people here, and said she was moving to Europe as she considers herself European. I covered this at the time with a video on the fact that she had been given Italian citizenship and was quite happy that she had actually gone, because if you don't like the UK, you know where the door is. No one is forcing you to stay here, which was reported here and as I covered at the time by Metro, saying Emma Thompson and her husband moved to Venice after Brexit, and good on them, because this woman here is obviously a die-hard Ramona as well. Emma Thompson and her husband Greg Wise have left Britain for good and moved to Venice. Good on them. Room for one more in your, we presume, massive Italian villa. I don't know, love. I'm sure you got enough money to move yourself over there anyway. The EU could always use another useless journalist like this washed up old actor. Dame Emma, 60, signed formal documents last week, as I covered in the video at the time, and said in Italian that becoming an honorary citizen was the realisation of a dream she had cherished for years. But unfortunately, as you can see here, they've still got their British passports too, which is key to what we're going to talk about in a minute. The move isn't all that surprising, with what Emma previously declaring she feels European, as I said, and calling Brexit madness. That is not all of what she said, and I expect they ain't going to go over it in this article here. But yesterday we had this article which says Emma Thompson left new home in Venice to self-isolate at mum's house in Scotland, which I think you will agree is rather laughable, because she is a European, she claims, after all, remember. Turning around and hightailing it out of Italy as soon as the going gets tough shows exactly what a lily-livered snake this woman and her husband clearly are. Actress's post-Brexit move to Italy, short-lived as she reveals return to this cake-filled, grey old island despite government advice. Well, first and foremost, she actually came back before the government advice about not travelling, so you can't really have her on that one there, the Telegraph. But she did say this cake-filled, grey old island, as most of you will remember, and was part of why I said in my previous video, if she doesn't like the UK, she's more than welcome to never come back. Well, it turns out she was only actually there for a few days before sticking her tail between her legs and running back to good old Blighty. Dame Emma Thompson finally sealed her departure from misery-laden Britain in the last week of February, as we just see, shortly after Brexit, during a ceremony on February 28th. The Hollywood actress and her husband Greg Wise were declared citizens of Venice and residents of Italy. After the documents were signed, Italian officials presented the famous pair with a Lion of St. Mark statuette, a symbol of the ancient city. It was clear that Dame Emma was here to stay, or so they thought. They wanted to be residents to come and live in Venice, said Deputy Mayor Simeone Venturini afterwards. They brought in the historic centre, not a second home. We are truly happy and proud to have Emma Thompson and Greg Wise as our fellow citizens for what they represent and for the love they show for Venice. According to Dame Emma, her new status represented the realisation of a dream she had cherished for years, as we heard earlier. Definitely at least 4, since the UK decided to leave the EU and she got a bit salty about it. But here is the nice little bit that I found particularly funny when I read through this article earlier. Within days, however, Dame Emma's plans were shattered. Italy had become the epicentre of Europe's coronavirus outbreak, and the disease was spreading uncontrollably. Soon, her new home city was placed on total lockdown, and the canals fell silent. Luckily for Dame Emma, she was already back in Britain. The grey old shithole that she didn't like before, turns out she only managed 4 days there after all. Only 4 days after declaring herself a Venice citizen, it now emerges the 61-year-old flew back to her isolated holiday home on the banks of Loch Eck in Argyll, Scotland, where she has stayed ever since. So much for I'm European, hey Emma? What happened to that? Why didn't you stay and show some solidarity with your fellow Italians who are struggling so much and could have used your celebrity status to help them? I'm not sure how, because I'm sure you think you can help the world by promoting yourself around the place like you actually give a shit about people, when we all know you don't. Like 99.9% of celebrities, you only care about yourself and making yourself look good. Virtue signalling is strong with this one. At the time of her departure, 11 towns across northern Italy had already been placed under strict quarantine rules, which is why she was off on her toes. Dame Emma herself confirmed that she was living back in Scotland while on the BBC promoting her film about the Extinction Rebellion protest which paralysed London. Oh, she doesn't just hate the UK, she actively works with scumbags to try and disrupt the functioning of the country, so we can see what sort of person she is. Along with, obviously, being a lily-livered snake who will quickly run away from somewhere she had just claimed to be happy to move to, completing a dream she had had for years. Which shows to you, these celebrities talk the talk, but never walk the walk. And it points out there at the end, which I didn't read, she played a starring role in those Extinction Rebellion protests, as I'm sure most of you will remember. The actress said she was speaking from her mum's place in Scotland, where she is staying with her daughter and her husband. Her mother, Lydia Law, an actress who married the Magic Roundabout writer Eric Thompson, is also staying with the family. The actress and her husband own a home in Hampstead but spend their summers at the Croft near Dunoon below, where they married in 2003. Which I've got to say looks a lot better than Hampstead in London, let me tell you that. She has holidayed there since childhood, no one cares about that. On the 21st of March, Scottish Tourism Secretary Fergus Ewing lambasted those travelling to remote holiday homes during the COVID-19 crisis, stating, "I am furious at the reckless and irresponsible behaviour of some people travelling to the Highland and Islands. This has to stop now." Well, no, the government hadn't actually put in the rules to say people couldn't do it then, so on the 21st of March, you should have shut your face, mate. Sources close to Thompson said she re-entered the UK on March 3rd, so 4 days after the article that we see a moment ago and the video that I made, mocking her and being happy that she had left. She made her way to the family property before the lockdown began in Italy. The UK government officially banned travel to second homes on March 22nd, so, like I said, long before any rules had come in, so she hasn't done anything wrong. Which I'm afraid can't be said for Gordon Ramsay, which I've also seen this morning, who appears to be in a bit of trouble, having been willy-nilly flouting the lockdown rules, travelling around Cornwall, taking a stroll on each different beach he could find. It's actually quite funny. During the Brexit campaign, the actress branded the UK a tiny little cloud-bolted, rainy corner of sort of Europe. A cake-filled, misery-laden, grey old island, adding, "I feel European." Well, you don't feel that European anymore, because you come straight back to Scotland 4 days after calling yourself a European citizen and moving to Venice because of old bat flu. And obviously, your realisation that Italy was a bit of a shit show. But the Sense and Sensibility Oscar winner has described the location of her holiday home near the town of Dunoon as part of my DNA. No one actually cares. What really matters is you were so quick to move to Venice, but now the shit has hit the fan, you're back, tail between your legs, hiding at your little holiday home in Scotland. Like the European Union, you're showing your solidarity with those people in Europe you claim to love so much. No one cares about where she's played and her love of the place she's at. As well as the rapidly vacated property in Venice, Thompson also owns a family home in West Hampstead area of London, as does her mother. Her new status as an Italian resident affords the same rights to work, study and healthcare as an Italian citizen. Last year, the Love Actually actress was criticised for returning to the capital via a polluting transatlantic flight in order to protest with Extinction Rebellion. Yes, because she's a do as I say, not as I do type person. It's all for the virtue signalling at the end of the day. She doesn't expect to be called out for it. She's supposed to be one of those great people who are considered heroes, remember, because she wants to stop the so-called climate crisis. Thompson said the film, titled Extinction, which will likely be a load of crap, in a crisis you have to convince people to take positive and immediate action, like flying on a transatlantic airline, when you're moaning about climate change. What an idiot. But it goes to show the so-called EU lovies are not that much in love with the EU when it actually comes down to it, and like I said, the shit starts hitting the fan. Tail between their legs, running back to good old Blighty, like a snivelling shitweasel that we know these people are. I wonder how many more Ramonas who left the country after Brexit have come back, tail between their legs. That is just not being reported by the media, or they're not important enough to have the media even give a shit. I expect there is definitely a fair old few of them. So much for your European solidarity. Because let's be honest, Italy can't even get out from the European Union, so what does lowly old Emma Thompson expect? No wonder why she returned, in my opinion. It is rather funny though, that it was only 4 days after she had left and claimed to be so happy to be an Italian citizen. Perhaps the mayor of Venice might want to revoke that citizenship real quick, because she certainly didn't show solidarity with the people of Venice in this crisis, much like the European Union itself. Now before I go, I've started doing live streams and uploading gaming content on my second channel. If you would like to come and join me for a live stream to chat in real time, have an interest in gaming related content on YouTube, or just want to follow me over there because you are a legend, the link will be down in the video description below and as a pinned comment. I hope to see you all there. Now as always, before I go, I want to thank our PayPal, Patreon, Subscribestar and YouTube members for supporting the channel, along with everyone who watches my videos. Remember to let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Leave a like, subscribe with the notification bell and share this video as it helps the channel a lot, and I will see you all in the next one.